Why did you choose Ohio State? It's a straightforward question, but the answers are endless. We sat down with 4 members of our world-class faculty to discuss why they chose and continue to choose Ohio State.
There's a lot of emphasis on that our research has practical effects. And so whether that's on Twitter or whether it's blogging like Doug Berman's sentencing blog, that's probably one of the most read criminal blogs in the nation, or our election law blog that's read by everyone during elections, there's this value here with our research that we want it to matter. It was one thing that attracted me to Ohio State, and it's something that I enjoy. So whether I'm on Twitter or on Facebook or I'm blogging at one of the different blogs about the issues I'm writing on, it's just another way to speak directly to policymakers and not just to other academics.
I work a lot on climate change. And so my main project right now is actually the Handbook of International Climate Change Law. And the handbook is really designed to present an overarching view of everything that's going on related to climate change. And so it's talking about international climate change law, it's talking about domestic climate change law, and it's bringing perspectives from the United States, from the European Union, from Brazil, from China, from Russia, and really saying, kind of describing the problem of climate change, what we've done to address it, how those efforts have succeeded, how they failed, and how people from different parts of the world have different interests and perspectives that really shape our approach to addressing climate change.
So for many members of our military, it can be difficult for them to participate. If they're on a nuclear submarine somewhere under the water or in a tent in Afghanistan, they may have difficulty getting an absentee ballot and returning it in time for it to be counted. And so for a number of years, many state election officials as well as members of Congress have worked to try and come up with solutions to that problem. I had the opportunity in 2008 to begin working on a project that the Uniform Law Commission started to try to develop a uniform state law that would streamline the way in which those military voters could vote. And by 2010, we had drafted a Uniform Military and Overseas Voters Act that now I think more than a dozen states have adopted, and a number of other states are considering, and yet a few other states have adopted some piece of that act.
When we think about law, we think about how a bill becomes a law, right? And how it goes through Congress and eventually the president signs it or vetoes it, and that's law for us. But when you get to law school, you realize that that's a very small part of law. Courts make law by how they interpret those laws, and then even more importantly, most of our lawmaking happens at agencies, making rules and regulations, and so it's an understudied area where I'm hoping to contribute more by showing what these rule makers are actually thinking about when they draft rules.
To give you an example of an issue that I've been researching lately that's in the news all the time now is the issue of corruption in international business. The issue of corporations giving bribes to foreign officials for the purpose of obtaining or retaining business. And I recently testified before Congress about that particular issue. And we spend time talking about that in class. That's right now on the front pages of the New York Times and of other news services. So that's an example.
As they learn, they're pushing you to think about things in different ways, and so that kind of mutual engagement is really, I think, what keeps me fascinated with and really enjoying the teaching experience.
Of course, Ohio is a great place to be doing this type of work. It's long been a swing state in national politics, has a great political tradition here, and of course, the law school at Ohio State is in the state capitol, so we're just 3 miles up the road from where a lot of this legislative activity is happening. And the students in the legislation clinic can therefore easily participate in a range of experiences that way.
The reason I'm at Ohio State is because Ohio State University has the advantages of being a small school, a relatively small school. So the law school has about 600 to 700 students. But we're also part of a major and very powerful university.